How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your forecast for this weekend, March 24th, Friday. Actually, I'm shooting this on Friday, so we're basically going to be doing from Saturday the 25th till Monday, Tuesday, what would that be, the 27th, 28th. I have those pulled up too. Well, let's talk about it. Today we had the sun go over Venus. When we have the sun go over Venus in this retrograde period, it happens during every retrograde. However, it's a big shift between, as far as this one going, this is a big shift between what this Venus retrograde's been all about. Now, bringing it, like, as Venus has been retrograde, we're looking at, what do we really value out of ourselves? How do we really love ourselves? What's a relationship with that? How are we progressing on that? How are we moving forward with it? And what does it really look like? With Venus and Aries, it's very Venus and Aries could be very selfish at points, and it could also be very center focused and only worrying about what it is that they feel and they do, which is what this whole thing's about. However, with the sun, with it going over the sun, kind of going into this this dark side of the sun, to where we're not going to be able to see it, going from the evening star to the morning star, it's going through this bigger look at things. Now, it's still squaring Saturn. It's still, really showing us what the big picture is. What's really going on with Saturn and Sagittarius. Not only is it helping us push, our beliefs and what we're capable of and what we can do and accomplish. However, it's also showing us our limits. However, with this as well, it's showing us, like the big picture. Sagittarius is that big picture. It's, what are things looking like? How far can this really go? How far can we take it? And with this Venus and Aries, it's like, now that it's going past the sun, it's bringing to light all of these, things of how it can affect, how people are really taking in their emotions and how they, what their relationship really is with themselves. And as it goes back this weekend and, later on into the weekend of Pisces, it's going to get more and more real as it's as the planets move through the zodiac signs. It goes through the 0 degree to the 29th degree. And now usually it's a progression upward. Now this is a progression downward. Now that we have Venus getting closer and closer, it's getting more and more raw. It's getting more and more serious rather than more and more expansive. And this is getting down to the final things of like, oh wow, this is really it. This is my relationship with myself. This is how things are going. This is, what I'm feeling. And it could definitely bring up some pain with the Saturn and Sagittarius. It's kind of like, God, like, it could be no stability right now. There could be like you could have like, no sight to look forward to. No light at the end of the tunnel, it may seem like. Even though with this, Mars is trining Pluto, Mars did just go into 10 degrees Taurus, it is sextiling Neptune. Things are moving forward and they're progressing, but it's like, what is this, thing that I'm feeling? What are these emotions? Why is this going on? And with today being Friday, when the moon was in Aquarius, this is really showing us not only the big picture, but like, standing back and showing us like what is really happening. It's kind of like, when you're like when you're watching a movie, or if you see a group of people, arguing, you step back and you take a look at, what's really going on through all angles and all perspectives, showing us, what all that is really looking like. And this is sextiling Mercury and Uranus. Mercury with Uranus coming closer and closer. Things are starting to get really, really intense. This whole weekend cracks me up. As this weekend goes on, going into Saturday, Mercury will be a degree away from Uranus. It'll be exactly over it on Sunday. However, on Friday, Venus was on 5 degrees Aries and the sun was on 4 degrees Aries. Saturday, tables get turned. Sun's at 5 degrees Aries. Venus is at 4 degrees Aries. So this is that that backward step I was talking about. I'm trying to think of the word for it. However, this is we're looking at like taking things seriously. Like, can you even take yourself seriously? Take on what you really believe and what you hope for seriously, and not being frustrated with it and not being overly hard on yourself. It's the same thing with this Mercury conjuncting Uranus. This is building up a lot of tension. Like, people are saying crazy things. People are going up and down, especially with their with their overall internal dialogue. They're overall thinking every single day. It can be very extreme, up and down. It can be very self-centered, and then all of a sudden it's like, you play the martyr and you got to worry about other people with this opposing Jupiter, and it's blowing things really out of proportion. So you got to make sure that you're not capable, that you're taming yourself, that you know where your energy is going, and that you know where things are going into. What's it called? And as Saturday, the moon will be going into Pisces, conjuncting Neptune. It'll start to be making a square later on Sunday and Monday. However, with moon going over Neptune, starting to get closer and closer, this is building up that whole, what we just experienced going through all this Pisces energy, all of this, I'm kind of like not feeling this right now. I'm really in my feelings. I'm really in my shit. Things are just scattered everywhere. There's just a lot of emotions coming up. And during all this time, you got to remember that this is sextiling Mars. This is whatever your emotional thoughts are, what's going on every day. That's what Mars is putting into place. Be sure that what your overall mindset is, what you're thinking about with this moon in Pisces, be on the up end of things. Be like, okay, like, I really see how, everything's really working out. I see what this Venus retrograde is doing to me. I'm looking at things through this new perspective, and I'm starting to put myself first in this way or in this fashion. And with the moon going over Neptune, have that inner belief to stay, true, that things are going to happen. Have that, get connected with source. Like, there's going to be that new moon on Monday. It's a great time to meditate. Get clear on what your desires are. Don't get lost in this sad illusionary bullshit that's going on. Use this Venus retrograde to your advantage. It's not about, oh my God, my feelings, oh my God, this and this and that. It's about, okay, what am I learning from this? How can I progress from this? And as Venus moves backwards, more and more backwards until it hits Chiron, it's just going to be more and more like, ow, like, fuck, that kind of hurt. Ow, like, whoa, like, now I'm starting to look at things through a whole new perspective, a whole new way. And as that keeps going, don't get lost in that. Don't get stuck there. Get on the, like I said, like, get on the upside of things. Get more clear and more grounded, especially when this moon goes over Neptune. Like, as it goes into Pisces on Sunday, that's when things are going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be like, I get it now. I see where I got to go. I see what I got to do. I see where I got to, I feel how I have to be. And it could also throw in the whole, I don't know where things are going. I don't know what I want. Everything just doesn't make sense right now, and everything's really emotional. So be wary of that this weekend and push towards being more, I don't want to say like self-centered or grounded, but more just tapped in with your higher self, more aligned with what it is that you're doing, what it is that you want, and what it is that you accomplish. Going into Sunday, the moon will pass Neptune. It'll start to go over Chiron. We had this, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? We had the moon go from Neptune to Chiron, and in between that little space right there, that's where it's kind of like, just play it safe, be patient, don't overanalyze things, and don't get caught up and lost in things. Be as open and present in the moment as you can, and don't let it affect you, because that day too, Mars is going to be right on top of Uranus, opposing Jupiter, and that is going to blow things out of proportion. Be very, very careful. Don't go, don't get all into this fiery rage of passion. Don't, use the explosive energy that you'll be feeling and that other people will be feeling too in a very, in a more positive outlet, Because with Mercury and Uranus conjunct, that's just going to be a crazy day. However, use it to your advantage. Things are going to be up and down. Things are going to be blowing out of proportion. With this right here, I guarantee something on the news is going to pop. I guarantee it. It is just it's too much. But don't get ahead of yourself with that. Don't fall victim to that. Use that for your advantage. If you feel that initial kick, what we were talking about with the moon going through Pisces, going in between Neptune and Chiron, being present, being in the moment, not taking things, too seriously, but not taking things, not seriously at all. Finding that good inner balance and being really with in the moment. If you find that and you're able to get that spark of energy to, go out and say something, go out and do something, like, do it if it's on that positive spectrum. That's going to help you, but don't get too caught up in all the crazy things that the world's going to be throwing at you. Saturn will be squaring the moon. Don't be acting out on emotional impulses. Don't get too caught up in your feelings. You want to stay as present in the moment as you can, and use what you know as to the best of your abilities. This isn't a time to, be trying anything new, really. And then going into Monday, that's when we will have the new moon. The moon will be going over Venus. It will be going over. Wait, was that on Sunday or Monday? So yeah, Monday. By Monday, the moon will go over Chiron. That's when things will be a lot more clear and things will make a lot more sense, and things will start to feel a little bit better too. Even though it'll still be squaring Saturn, it's still going to square Saturn for a second. However, just be very open to what it could look like as far as what you go through this weekend with this moon going into Pisces, talking about what's real, what's not, getting lost in your emotions. After it goes through Chiron, that's when you can get clear about things. That's when you can start to move forward. With it squaring Saturn, though, it's kind of like if you were sleeping for like 6 months and you decide to jump out of the bed, you would like fall down instantly because your legs haven't walked in 6 months, and you would break your legs. So don't go out and just jump out out of bed after being laying down for 6 months. Stay cool, sit up first and then start walking. However, with this new moon, it's going to be going over Venus. It's going to be, it's right over the sun. This is a time to start something new, start something fresh. And it's like, with that same example, when you get out of bed, don't just jump out and start walking. Like, first sit up, get clear on like, all right, what do I need to accomplish? Let's check in with my body. Let's see how that's going. And then, get your legs off the bed. Then maybe like put a little bit of pressure and then start working on standing up. That's how this is really going to go as far as moving forward with things. And then once you get on your feet and once you start going, that's when things will start moving a lot faster. What else is going on? Jeez. And then going into Tuesday, that's when the moon will go over Uranus and Mercury. Again, be careful about jumping out of that bed. You're going to have a lot of energy to just go out and do it. Just take things slowly but surely. This is Mars and Taurus. Move, it's kind of like playing chess. You don't just go, oh, I'm just going to go here. You plan out what moves you're going to take. Figure out what's going to, work for you rather than just jumping on an impulse. Yeah, it won't be squaring Saturn anymore. It'll then be trining Saturn later on on Tuesday evening. And then it'll be going over Uranus and Mercury again, acting on those emotional impulses, getting all fired up about something. Again, I guarantee you more stuff's going to be happening in the news with that. However, just be wary of it. Mars is in Taurus. Mars is doing some good things right now. You want to use this Mars energy to your best advantage, and this is Mars in Taurus. This is building foundations, building some ground, some leverage to work off of. And that's a slowly but surely thing. You got to be very focused. You got to be very determined and have consistency. That's another thing right now with all this Aries energy. We'll have Venus, the Sun, Moon, Uranus, and Mercury in Aries on Monday and Tuesday. Whew. It's a lot of explosive energy, a lot of chaotic, passion, just go for it, drive energy. Use that in a healthy way. Channel it towards that Mars and Taurus. I got things I got to do. I got things I want to build. It's just stay more determined and stay more focused and keep that consistency. Don't lose the consistency this week. And shit, yeah, that's basically all that's really good. What's going to be going on. It's going to be a very interesting weekend. However, yeah, just really get clear, not get clear. Take this time to really feel your feelings and to experience what the universe wants you to experience. And use it to your advantage. Use it to grow. Use it to learn. Venus is in Aries right now. It's going back to you. Even though I talked about that whole selfish thing, you know where to draw the line with that. What's really selfish, and then what's really, what you truly want and desire. Don't be afraid to put yourself first. Don't be afraid to, take control of your life. Don't be afraid to put anything that you want first and anything that you desire and that you want to have, regardless of what it is. Regardless of your situation, put yourself first and what your worth is. That's what's really going to get you through this weekend. And don't get all lost and caught up in the emotion, and don't go all crazy all at the same time. Find some balance, find some peace. This would be a good weekend to, go out and hike, go out and experience nature, just be within the moment and just feel it, especially on the new moon. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a good time to reset this whole Venus retrograde energy, and yeah, everything will start working out a little bit not a little bit. Everything is going to be working out better once Venus hits Pisces, hits Chiron, and moves forward. Just for these next couple days, get as present as you possibly can and be as aware as you possibly can. Don't get too lost in things. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys follow me on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, I super appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys subscribe to me on YouTube, I super love it. All the comments, thank you guys, and all the likes and sharing and all the social media stuff, I love it. If you guys want to keep up with me, follow me on Twitter. I'm always tweeting about stuff about astrology, and I will be seeing you guys on Monday for the new moon. Yeah, thanks guys.